Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Susan Ehrlich, Chair of BECU's Board of Directors. I'm informed we have a quorum, so BECU's 2021 annual membership meeting is called to order. Today's meeting is focused on announcing the results of this year's elections and hearing our Audit Committee's annual report to the membership. There will not be an opportunity for new business or questions and answers. If you do have a question, please submit it by email to communityrelations@becu.org, and a member of our team will be happy to get back to you. 2020 was an unprecedented year for all of us in many ways and required new ways of living, working, and serving our members. In the midst of these rapid changes, BECU's resilient teams also innovated to launch products and services aimed at alleviating the economic hardships and uncertainty that many of our members are experiencing. In a few minutes, our President and CEO, Benson Porter, will share a few of 2020 highlights. For more details, we invite you to participate in our 2021 Virtual Member Summit, which is taking place next Thursday, April 29th at 4 p.m. This event will include a detailed State of the Credit Union, about a presentation about our financial position and the many ways in which we are fulfilling our purpose. It's worth pausing for a moment to highlight what BECU's purpose actually is, because it's the true north that our board, senior management, and all of our fantastic teams align to every day as we serve our members. Our purpose statement is, as a cooperative, we bring people together to improve the financial well-being of our members and their communities. On to our first item of business. The minutes of our 2020 annual membership meeting were posted on becu.org with an invitation for members to submit corrections. We received no corrections, and the minutes are approved as posted. Next, I'd like to invite John McMurray, our Audit Committee Chair, to present the Audit Committee's annual report to BECU's membership.
Thank you, Susan. The Audit Committee works closely with the board and the executive management team to ensure BECU's safety and soundness. The Audit Committee held 8 meetings during 2020 and retained the independent accounting firm of Crowe LLP to perform the audit of BECU's 2020 financial statements. In carrying out its responsibilities, Crowe LLP believes that the appropriate internal controls are in place at BECU and that the 2020 financial statements accurately reflect the strong financial position of the credit union. The Audit Committee has reviewed and discussed BECU's 2020 audited financial statements with Crowe, the credit union's chief audit executive, and senior management. BECU's 2020 annual report will be available next week on becu.org. The report provides detailed financial information, including our return to member results, as well as an overview of our 2020 initiatives. I would like to thank the Audit Committee for all their work this past year, and now turn it back to Susan.
Thanks, John. Our board is made up of representatives of you, our member owners. BECU's board members are seasoned professionals who bring a wealth of knowledge and perspectives to their work for BECU. The board is accountable for overseeing the business and affairs of BECU, hiring and supervising the CEO, approving the strategic direction for the cooperative, and establishing policies governing BECU's operations. I'd like to thank our board members for all of their work to help guide BECU's strategic direction. Our next item of business is to announce the results of the 2021 Board of Directors elections, starting with a brief summary of our nominating and voting process. Our nominating committee is responsible for maintaining the appropriate balance of experience and perspective that our board of directors and audit committee need to effectively oversee this large and growing credit union. fellow directors David Yance, Will Doherty, and Jesse Woolley Wilson served on this year's nominating committee. The nominating committee reviewed applications from members and from incumbents seeking re-election. The committee also engaged an independent recruiting firm to assist in identifying and evaluating new prospects. After careful evaluation, the committee nominated 4 candidates for election to the board of directors for 3-year terms and 2 candidates for election to the audit committee for a 1-year term. Between April 12th and April 19th, BECU members voted online, by phone, or by paper ballot by mail. And I'm pleased to announce that incumbent directors Matthew Oppenheimer, Deborah Somberg, and I have been reelected to serve 3-year terms, with Deborah starting as the new board chair at the close of this meeting. I'm also very pleased to welcome Manolo Sanchez to a 3-year term as a new director. Manolo brings a wealth of financial services experience to BECU. His financial services career includes executive and board positions in the United States, Mexico, France, and Spain. Among other pursuits, Manolo is a director at Fannie Mae and teaches disruption in financial services at Rice University. A native of Murcia, Spain, Manolo first came to the United States as a high school exchange student. We are excited to welcome Manolo to BECU's board of directors. I invite our members to review all of our director biographies on the governance page of our website. So congratulations to Matt, Deborah, and Manolo. And now I'd like to turn it back over to John to share the results of the audit committee election.
Thank you, Susan. I am pleased to announce the incumbent audit committee members, Dennis Farmer and I, have been re-elected to 1-year terms on the audit committee. I invite our members to review all of our audit committee biographies on the governance page of our website.
Thanks, John. As I mentioned earlier, after 3 years as your board chair, I will be transferring those responsibilities to fellow director Deborah Somberg at the close of this meeting. Consider this kind of a virtual passing of the gavel. It has been my sincere pleasure to have served as your board chair these past 3 years. I appreciate the opportunity you, our members, and my fellow board members have extended to me in fulfilling this role. And I'll miss emceeing the membership summit meetings, which have been a personal favorite event of mine. But I look forward to supporting Deborah in her role as our new board chair. So congratulations to Deborah. And now I'd like to introduce our president and CEO, Benson Porter.
Fantastic. Thanks, Susan. And congratulations to everyone who was re-elected, and a warm welcome to Manolo. The management team and I look forward to working with all of you. And a special thank you to Susan for your leadership and service as board chair for the last 3 years. We'll miss you on BECU speed dial, but I'm sure you may not miss that many calls. As Susan mentioned, our virtual member summit is taking place next Thursday, and I, along with our Chief Financial Officer, Melba Bartels, will provide an overview of our performance last year, including our return to member results, as well as preview some of our plans for the coming year. We're also offering several Q&A sessions with the management team. If you have any questions, either from today's session or otherwise, that we'd love to hear and answer. Information on how to participate in next week's membership summit is available on our website, and we look forward to seeing you there. There is no question that 2020 was not an ordinary year, and despite the challenges we faced, there were several silver linings, such as the resilience we saw across our communities and the way people showed up to help one another. This includes how our overarching cooperative principle of people helping people really guided BECU during a year of a health pandemic and racial injustice, so we could better serve our members, employees, and communities. Fortunately, we entered 2020 in a strong financial position that enabled us to support in both large and small ways during a time of financial uncertainty and turbulence. I'll share a few brief highlights, and we'll provide a more detailed overview when we get together at next week's membership summit. First, we always like to start with our membership. And we returned over $352 million to our members in the forms of better rates and lower fees compared to bank averages, which amounts to about $294 per member last year. We moved quickly to adjust our operations so that all of our locations were open during the pandemic while following all the public health guidance and providing a safe experience for our employees and members. In recognition of their risk, our frontline employees received essential pay, and I'm pleased to share that we are not aware of any transmission of the virus between a BECU member and an employee throughout the pandemic. Our deepest gratitude goes to our frontline employees for the critical role that they played in supporting our members and communities. In addition to keeping our branches open, we recognize that many of you chose to conduct much of your business through our digital channels, so we continue to invest in our mobile app and our online banking capabilities. We also provided loan payment relief actions to over 26,000 members on loan balances that totaled over $530 million. This is in addition to offering $7 million in income interruption loans, up to $2,500 for a low interest rate between 0 and 5% for our members that have that income hardship. We also doubled the funding for our first-time homebuyer grant program, raising the grant pool from $1 million to $2 million. This program supports members who are qualified home buyers, but need just that little extra assistance with the down payment. And in 2020, we helped members purchase 335 homes in our communities. For our business members, we funded nearly $96 million of the Small Business Administration's Paycheck Protection Program, otherwise known as PPP. We are pleased to report that this funding secured jobs for more than 11,000 people. And to better set expectations with our members and to promote a respectful workforce, we introduced a member code of conduct, which you can find on our website. While we're pleased with our multi-layered response during the pandemic, I'm especially honored by the role that the credit union played in consistently showing up to assist our communities in a time of need. We pledged $620,000 to numerous COVID-19 community response funds and offered employees a 2-for-1 donation gift match that resulted in another $280,000 to support over 350 nonprofits across our communities. To support in support of fighting racial inequities in Washington and South Carolina, we established a Black Community Development Fund, which will partner with local nonprofits that focus on improving the well-being of the Black community. We committed over $5 million over 5 years to this fund. And we also created and hired a new leadership position, a Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This role will sit around our leadership table and will make sure that we continue our progress towards becoming the racially equitable, diverse, and inclusive organization that we strive to be. The BECO ecosystem, whether it's our members, our board, our employees, can be proud of what we collectively accomplished last year and of our coming impacts this year. 2020 truly was a year in which the credit union difference and the cooperative model made a difference to our membership, employees, and communities. With that, back to you, Susan.
Thank you, Benson, for those meaningful silver linings of 2020. This now officially concludes BECU's 2021 annual membership meeting. Thank you to all of you who joined us this evening. A summary of this meeting, along with the recording, will be available later this week on becu.org. Have a good night.